going to get all of the code for our examples, which, who knows, might change a little bit between now and the end of the semester, but we'll get its current state, and we're going to have our first App Engine setup and our first App Engine deployment, and we're going to do that in a really easy, straightforward way. So the first thing we're going to do is activate Cloud Shell. Just go ahead and hit that button there, and I've used this recently, so it came up pretty quick. Now I'm going to maximize this, and the first thing I'm going to do is type git clone https github.com/TimothyRJames/GAE and this is going to get us all of the code for this class. So you can see here it pulls it down. We got a couple of files here, and that's going to leave me with a new folder, and that's going to be called GAE WebDev, Google App Engine Web Dev. So we're going to go into that folder, and here you can see we have a couple of steps. So we're going to go into step 00. So use CD to change directory to step 00, and from here we can see what files are here. We'll just type ls, and that'll list the files here. And you'll see the first thing we have is first project walkthrough.md. Now this is a markdown file, and markdown's a sort of simplified text format that allows you to do some formatting, probably a little bit simpler than the HTML that we're going to work with in this class, but this is a special kind of markdown file. If you're familiar with markdown, you can open it up, you can look at it, you can read it, you can even view it in GitHub, but we're going to use this with our teach me command, and this teach me command is going to walk us through step by step how we actually will create and deploy our first project here. So I'm going to click start, and the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually open up a text editor to edit this main file. So this I can actually enter these commands directly just by hitting that command button. So hit that button, and then I'm going to open up a really basic text editor. There are a lot of text editors out there. There's Vim, there's VI, there's Emacs. There's a lot of things that people like to use. Way back when I was a student at the University of Pittsburgh in 1998, I want to say, we used Pine and Pico, so I just kind of got used to using it. So Nano is the successor to Pico, and I don't know, it's really simple. All of your commands are down here at the bottom. Very easy environment to work with. So we're going to copy this, and we're going to paste that into our file, and once we've done that, we're going to hit Control-O to write that out, and then we're going to hit Control-X to get back to our command line. And that's all we have to do here. So we've created our Python file. Now we're going to go to Next, and we're going to create an app.yaml file, and that's just going to contain this code. So this configuration. We're going to hit Control-V, go ahead and write that out, and then exit that. And then from there, we're going to create we're going to install our Flask. So we'll use this to install this on our VM, pip3 install Flask 2.1.0. There we go. So there we go. Successfully installed Flask 2.1.0. Pretty easy. Now we should be able to run our little test program, and we hit Python 3 main.py. So you can see this is a development server. So up here at the top right, there's a web preview button. We're going to go ahead and preview on port 8080. There we go, and there's our code. So the time is it's 9/12/153. So yeah, that's there we go. That's our code. We're going to go ahead and close that one and come back to this. To exit the server, we just hit Control-C, and that'll shut it down. Now we can actually deploy this. So we're going to hit Next, and if we haven't actually created an application yet, we can do that very easily. We'll just type gcloud projects create. Type that one out, but again, you can always use that button to enter that. So we haven't set a project yet, so you can see here, if you have created a project, you'll need to set it in the gcloud command. So let's set that gcloud config set project CS1520. So I'll have to authorize this. It's going to go ahead and pop up my account there. There we go. We are set. Now we should be able to create our project. Oh, so let's see here. That one should be automatic, but these things change frequently. So okay. Oh, one typo there. Projects create. So I've already used this particular ID, so I don't actually have to create this one. But now that this one is already set and it's created, we can go to the next item here. So we are going to create this requirements.txt. Remember when we used pip3 to install, now we want to create the requirements. So we're going to edit that requirements file. We're going to paste in our necessary requirements, and there we go. So we can also use that to install from our requirements if we need to make sure that we've got everything installed correctly. And now all we have to do is deploy our app. So we're going to hit enter. The first time you do this, it'll ask you some different options on where you'd like to deploy your application. I'm going to go ahead and take all of these defaults, hit yes, and there we go. It's my files are now being uploaded. We're getting everything up to App Engine. It's initializing all of the different pieces, and in just a moment we should be able to take a look at this. So we're updating the service. There's a couple of pieces that happen behind the scenes here. And once we're done with that, we should be able to go to http cs1520.appspot.com to see what this looks like, or we can just browse that, directly using this command. So we'll wait for this to finish uploading and updating. See, when I used to teach this class, this was so fast that we would often just use the live server as a development server because it would only take a few seconds. But the service has gotten a little bit more complex and a little bit more robust in the time since. So it does take a little bit longer for this to deploy. So there we go. We're setting a traffic split. That's just so that we can migrate users who are currently using the old version onto a new version. There we go. Now we can just type gcloud app browse, hit enter, and it's going to give me my URL. I can click that directly, and you can see there's our live deployed application right there at cs1520.appspot.com. Now you can also go to the specific URL that they provide, but if you have your project id.appspot.com, that will probably do it. So that will finish for this particular tutorial. Thanks for watching. Hope you're able to deploy your own first web or application here on App Engine, and we'll get into some more concepts in the next video. Thank you.